In every class I teach, there is inevitably one person who will stand up and say, I haven't read a book in years, but I got a great idea for one. And the pride in that statement never fails to amaze me. Reading is where we reinforce, we relearn the musicality of the language, the ebb and flow of words, the way in which a story unfolds. If you don't read, you cannot write. It's as simple as that. Social media does not count as reading. Spending a few minutes with your feed, looking at a few lines of text, a meme, or the lines of COVID numbers scrolling across the bottom of your television, this is not reading. This is skimming. This is just scrolling. This is letting bits of information just pass through, and your attention span is fragmented. Okay, instead of focused, it's all over the place. If you want to write, you need to learn to bring back your attention. Be able to focus it, and you need to focus it on a book. As much as I love audiobooks, they don't count as reading. I listen to audiobooks when I'm driving, gardening, doing dishes, cooking, any number of things, which means by the very nature of them that I'm not focused on the story. It's playing in the background while I'm doing something else, and the story itself is merely washing over me. When you reach the end of the audiobook, I can't point to a line of dialogue that resonated with me. I can't point to a particular description that I went back and listened to again and again, because we don't do that. The story is just playing. It's just washing over us, as I say. So a printed book is a totally different experience. A printed book immerses you in the story in a way that nothing else can. So enjoy the audiobooks, and don't stop listening to them. It's a wonderful way to get your fiction fix or your podcast fix, but do give time to printed books. Unfortunately, no. Again, because there's so many distractions. If you were to get a printed newspaper, and who gets printed newspapers? You should get printed newspapers, because you open it up on your kitchen table and the ads are there, but they're not going to leap in front of the words that you're trying to read. They're not going to crowd the space and say, look at me, click over here, go over here, which is exactly the goal of every advertiser of that online newspaper that you're trying to read, until your screen gets squeezed and you're trying to concentrate on the article in here and everything else is over there. Flash, 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 click here, oh, celebrity news, to try and distract you. Again, it's all about fragmenting your attention and bringing your attention back. Printed words works like a charm. Absolutely. If you want to write, you have to read widely. There's nothing worse than someone who says, I only read mysteries, I only read biographies. That's like saying, I only eat steak. How boring is the diet? And all of the adventure is out there. All of those wonderful delicacies are out there waiting for you, and you're just limiting yourself to one. And again, if you want to write, you need to read widely. And if you want to write genre fiction, you need to read widely outside of your genre. Do not make the mistake of only reading the kind of book that you think you want to write, right? Read outside of that. And there are so many avenues to find books. Yes, there are wonderful independent bookstores with people who actually love books and read books there, waiting to help you pick one, waiting to tell you, to share with you what they know, what they've read and loved. There are libraries still alive and well and waiting for you to walk inside and pick out a book. And there are little libraries popping up all over the places, those little boxes that you see on the streets where neighbors have gone and put in books that they've truly enjoyed and want to share with other people. These are little treasure troves, little gems of books that you can go and just take one. And here's an exercise. Go to a library, go to the bookstore, go to a little library, pick up a book you would never read. All right, one that you would say to yourself, oh, this is the last book on earth I would read. Pick that one up. Take it home. Don't just read the first page, and don't read the first page at all while you're picking it up. Wait till you get home. Read the whole first chapter. And when you reach the end of that first chapter, think to yourself, all right, it's not what I would have ever picked up, but I'm enjoying it and I want to know what happens next. Or perhaps, I got to the end of the first chapter and it just doesn't do it for me. I'm just not interested. No harm, no foul. You gave it a try. So now, next day, take it back to the library, wherever you got it, take another one. And again, keep trying something else. Try something else. It's like going to different restaurants. You're trying something new. You're developing a new taste. You're expanding your horizons. It's very important to do that, especially if you want to write. You have simply got to read. I hope you'll send us your story. Thank you.